And as a physician, I can tell you that sometimes fetal abnormalities show up. And so if you have a fetal abnormality and you're going to grow this for 9 or even 10 months because it's an abnormal pregnancy, and then it comes out and it immediately dies, is it worth it putting that woman through that pregnancy throughout that 9 or 10 months? So birthing an abnormal thing can also result in rupture of the uterus. So if you want to have future babies, that can be at risk too. It is really disgusting and callous that they are not making any exception for rape, incest, health, life of the woman, and it should be a private decision. And by forcing this decision back to the states and reversing the right to abortion, the right to decide what happens to my body according to my religion in conjunction with my physician, the court is saying that women are second-class citizens, that if we are raped, then we will be forced to carry a pregnancy to term, that my rapist has more rights to force me to do something against my will, and that I am a second-class citizen. So it is just depressing and horrifying, and as I like to say, if you make abortion illegal or difficult to access, it doesn't make it go away. It only makes it dangerous, delayed, and more expensive.
The people who are supporting what they are calling pro-life movement unfortunately have a deep vein and a connection to people who have also been racist, people who have been sexist. So many people in the pro-life movement are functionally out to espouse this white replacement theory, which quickly means the idea that there are white Americans who believe that so long as abortion is legal, so long as abortion and the opportunity or the access to abortion is widespread, then the white population will dwindle because white women will abort their children. In their efforts to promote white hegemony across the United States to maintain a degree of order of white supremacy and to relegate women's rights, to minimize the role and autonomy of women, to do two things at one time, in the United States there's a term called states' rights. In fact, the Civil War in 1861 was fought over the question of states' rights, but when we dig deeper on the question of states' rights, it was the states' right to enslave people of African descent. So what we're now seeing with this overturning of Roe versus Wade and the anti-abortion and anti-choice efforts is again the same language of states' rights. Every time the United States has had a meaningful question about states' rights, it is ultimately served to ensure and enshrine white supremacist, heterosexual, patriarchal harm and violence against everyone who is not white, heterosexual, male, and capitalist.
In a 15-week limit, the court finding that law is valid and going further, undoing.
Time and again, we are seeing in the United States, the by and large will of the masses are not being attended to or addressed in meaningful ways. And in fact, these things are being divided along the lines of culture, along race, and ironically, the division is stoked by those who complain that identity politics are at the reason that the United States is often so divided.
Culmination of all of that decades of work. Listen.
What is scary is this is a slippery slope. This is the beginning of badness, as Ray has mentioned, that these people not only are anti-women, anti-abortion, but next comes birth control, next comes emergency contraception, next comes voting rights, next comes minority rights.
President Biden using this essentially as a call for Democrats to get out and vote for lawmakers.